Hey everyone, RJ here, back with another video, and today I'll be doing my unboxing and taking my first look at the new Google Pixel 6a. Alright, so first things first, I want to give a special thanks to Team Pixel for sending this phone out for unboxing and reviewing. So today I'll be just doing a brief unboxing, setting it up, stuff like that, giving my first initial opinions on it, and all that kind of good stuff. Now this here, of course, as you can see, is the Graphite Black, I do believe it's called. So let's go ahead and just put the top off of this box up here. And there we go right there. Got the Pixel right up on top. Pull it out and put it to the side. And it says Pixel 6a, Google Tensor. Got your little data transfer cable there, as well as your USB-C to USB-C and paperwork and your SIM ejection tool and stuff like that. Okay, so first time with phone in hand, and I gotta say, I am liking the way this phone feels. I like the compact form factor here with a 6.1-inch display and all that. Now, I gotta correct a mistake that I made. Earlier, I said that this color was called graphite, but on the box, it did say charcoal. So, a little small thing there, not much of a big deal, but wanted to correct it anyway. Now, looking at the phone here, like I said, looks really nice. And the feel of it, honestly, don't feel much different than the Pixel 6, my personal opinion here on the back here. Now, this back here is not glass, but honestly, they done a really good job making it feel like that, okay? So, anyway, nice looking design here. On the side, of course, is your power and volume rocker. On top, you have microphone. On the left is your SIM tray. Of course, here on the bottom is your speaker, USB-C charging port, microphone, and on the front up here, of course, is your hole punch camera. Let's go ahead and power it up. Little vibration there. Nice. Got Google there. Alright, I'm liking the matte black sides here as well. That looks really good. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get the phone all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Alright, so we're set up and ready to roll. Now, first thing I want to make mention of here is this color seems to attract a lot of dust, a lot of dirt. It's like it just kind of clings to it. So in a case, to prevent that, you know, if you don't like seeing all that on your phone, a case should help a little bit. But yeah, now, first of all, I was hoping for the sage to kind of go along with the Pixel 5. Sort of sage here. I just love this color. But honestly, after, you know, holding this charcoal, it just looks very professional. It looks really good. And I just like the way it looks. It's just a very nice looking device. Now, turning the phone around here, of course, double tap here. You can swipe up for your PIN, your pattern, or your password, or use the fingerprint scanner to open it up. Now, I have done this numerous times since setting the thing up, and it has registered every single time that I have pressed this fingerprint scanner. There's no issue whatsoever. It unlocks every single time. Now, is it the fastest? No, it's not the fastest. Now, I have had phones that are more expensive where the fingerprint scanner felt slower. I've had phones that were cheaper that seemed faster. So, it just is what it is. I mean, I don't think that extra 1/10, 100th or whatever of a second is really going to be the end of the world for this phone. I mean, you know, just, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, not that big of an issue. Now, looking here at the display, of course, got the 6.1-inch Full HD display. It is OLED, coming in at 1080 by 2400, 20 by 9 aspect ratio with 429 pixels per inch with corner and Gorilla Glass 3. It says it's got aluminum frame as well. That's what it says here, and the back is plastic, but Google done a very good job, in my personal opinion, of actually making it kind of feel like glass. I mean, it really does. It feels very premium. Now, the Pixel 5 is in here, and just for size comparison, okay, you got a 6-inch display here on the Pixel 5, 6.1-inch here on the 6a, but you can tell that the 6a is quite a bit taller, but they feel about the same width. But now when you look at them side by side, the 6a just looks wider. But technically they're not. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of mind blowing to me, but you know, yeah, there it is. So kind of wanted to just share that. And also I will put the case for my Pixel 6 on this phone to show you the difference in the size just by looking at the case. Now, moving along from the display, and of course, yes, controversial thing here is the refresh rate. It is 60 hertz, but to be honest with you, going from a 90 hertz on the Pixel 6 to the 60 on the 6A, it's not a big deal. Stop complaining about it. It's not that much. It's not the end of the world to have a 60 hertz display. It's not that much of an issue. You know, it really ain't. So more to say about that later in a different video. But anyway, moving on from that, this does of course run Android version 12. It is running the Tensor chip and also has 6 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of onboard storage. That's the only configuration you can get here for this phone. And so not bad there. Now on the rear here, you do have the dual camera setup. Now this is the same camera setup that you find on the Pixel 5, 4, 4XL, 4A, 5A, all of those. Same sensor, but I'm really excited to see what the Tensor chip and the AI learning and all that kind of stuff is going to do for these lenses. So I will definitely be doing some video and photos with the Pixel 6a. So with that being said, yes, the rear camera is a 12 megapixel wide angle lens and has a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. They can record at 4K at 30 and 60, 1080p at 30 and 60, and the front camera is an 8 megapixel wide angle lens. They record at 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now moving on down here to the battery, we got a 4410 milliamp hour battery with 18 watt quick charge. And I think with the 1080p display being a smaller display, having a 60 hertz refresh rate, it should get some pretty good battery life. I'm definitely going to test it out by, giving it a full charge, doing a video test to see how long you can watch video. At full 1080 here on this phone, as well as just ordinary usage and all that kind of stuff. I'll give you my opinion of what I'm getting on battery. Battery tests are pretty hard because everybody uses their phones differently, but I will give you my experience after a little while, because you don't get, you don't know your battery life experience in a day or two. You just don't. It takes a little bit more time than that. Now, as far as the Wi-Fi compatibility, you got AC 6E dual band Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.2, USB Type-C 3.1. You get stereo speakers. It's got a lot of nice features. Okay, so looking here at the phone a little bit, it feels very smooth. I'm not seeing any kind of hiccups, any kind of glitches. Just scrolling through here, you can see that it is very smooth and all like that. No issues whatsoever. Do got the 4 across here. Not crazy about that, but it, is what it is. So yeah, very smooth, very fast feeling. Now, in the settings here, not going to spend no time here or very, very little time here, because basically a pixel's a pixel and they all look the same in the settings. So, one thing I am going to show is the storage. 16 gigabytes has been used out of 128. The system is taking up 13 gigs, which is not that bad, to be honest with you. You got your dark theme, of course. You got your wallpapers, accessibility, and all that kind of good stuff there. Now, if you want to save some battery, go here to System and just go into your gestures and turn some of this mess off, because a lot of it is just going to eat your battery up. As well as if you go back into gestures here. Okay, it's not there. Yes, here in your apps. So if you go on the apps, go down to your default apps and go to the Home App Pixel Launcher. This button over here, at a glance, turn that off as well. That'll also save you some battery life and all the other stuff maybe that can just chew your battery up. There's a lot of things you can do to get better battery life, but a lot of times nobody checks that stuff, so it just eats their battery up and wonders why they're getting bad battery life. So just kind of go through your phone, and just turn off things that you really don't need. Now, one thing that I'm not really understanding here is down here at the system and going here to Android version 12, and we're on April 5th security patch. So when I check for an update, it's not giving me any prompts to update it to the July security patch. So not really sure why that is there, but I will be putting my main SIM card in here and using it as a daily. and all that kind of stuff. But overall, my first impressions here is the fact that the phone feels very snappy right out of the box. Fingerprint scanner seems to work just fine. I got much more to say about this phone here coming up in the next few days. So be expected a lot of videos on the Pixel 6a. And oh yeah, one more thing was I wanted to compare the case size from the 6 to the 6a to just show you the size difference. Now the Pixel 6 does feel a bit heavier than the 6a. So anyway, let's just kind of put this phone here in the case. You can see right there the size difference. There's not a ton of size difference going from a 6.1 to a 6.4 inch display. All right, you can see the camera, how it looks back there and everything, but not much of a difference. Okay, so the phone just kind of falls out, just a little shake here and there. Yeah, the phone falls right out. Like I said, I will be using this here as a daily phone. I will be using the rear cameras to record some YouTube videos, see how they do, as well as the front-facing camera and the audio and all that kind of good stuff. So a lot of stuff that I want to address and give my opinion on. So there's going to be a lot of videos about this phone coming from me. So stay tuned for all of that. Now, I do want to say that if you watch this video and you don't own the phone, keep your negative opinions to yourself. Okay? They're irrelevant. I don't care what somebody else says, you know. So, yeah. With that being said, if it's helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it down below. And if you are new around here and haven't subscribed, be sure and click that subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification and turn it on for all notifications of future videos to come. I got so many videos coming on this phone, as well as other stuff as well. So come on back to the channel, and yeah, I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.